Welcome back to Coffee with Mia. I'm Mia Pompey, and I have a very important announcement today. You don't need to have an opinion about everything. I know. Apparently, this is groundbreaking information because somewhere along the way, everyone became a critic, a commentator, a relationship expert, a parenting expert, a fashion editor, a psychologist, a financial advisor, and apparently a judge on everyone else's life. Everyone has a take. And now, not just a take, a strong take on everything, about everything. And I'm sitting here thinking, can we occasionally just say, I don't know, or even better, I don't care? Think about how often we're asked, what do we think about something that has absolutely nothing to do with us? Did you hear what she did? Okay. And what do you think? I don't know. Maybe she had a reason. Maybe she didn't. Maybe she made a terrible decision. Maybe she's thrilled with her decision. Either way, just leave me alone. I have laundry to do. Not everything needs a committee meeting. And listen, I believe in having a voice. Absolutely. Speak up when something matters. Speak up when something affects you. Speak up when someone needs defending. Speak up when something goes against your values. But honestly, having a voice doesn't mean you have to use it every time oxygen enters your lungs. Sometimes wisdom sounds like, I don't know enough about that. Sometimes maturity sounds like, that's really none of my business. And sometimes peace sounds like, I'm not getting involved. That's it. No speech, no paragraph, no Facebook comment, and no emergency group text. And you know what I mean. Someone posts something, and suddenly 50 people underneath it explain why that person is wrong. Half of them didn't even read the whole thing, but they are furious. People are arguing with strangers they will never meet about a topic they just heard about 15 minutes ago. And why? Well, because seeing something new gives them an obligation to have something to say about it. No, it doesn't. No obligation. You could scroll. That's allowed. No alarm is going off at headquarters. Nobody's going to call and say, Mia, we noticed you didn't weigh in on that. Good, because no, I didn't. I was eating lunch. Okay, here's another one. Just because something pops into your head doesn't mean the world has to hear it. I know, that might come as a shock. I have thoughts all day long that should never leave the building. I mean, come on, we all do. Sometimes someone says something and your first reaction, that is the stupidest thing I ever heard. That's fine. Think it. Keep it private. Maybe tell you a cup of coffee. The coffee can handle it, but I'm not too sure about the person you thought said something stupid will handle it just as well. You don't always have to say what's on your mind, because once you say something, now you own it. Not only do you own it because you said it, well, now you might have to explain it. Maybe you have to defend it, argue about it, or apologize for it. And now here you are, spending 40 minutes trying to talk about something or explain something that you didn't care about in the first place. Meanwhile, 5 minutes earlier, you were having a perfectly great day. I think some of this is that maybe we've become obsessed about being right. And let's admit it, being right feels good. There is something deeply satisfying about being right, especially when someone else is wrong in the most spectacular way. But here's the question. Do you want to be right, or do you want to have a peaceful afternoon? Because sometimes those two things aren't going to happen together. You could react to every inaccurate statement. You can challenge every ridiculous opinion. You can point out every contradiction. Or you can say to yourself, interesting, and then go make yourself a cup of coffee. And it's not because you're weak, not because you don't have an opinion. You just decided that this isn't worth your energy. Okay, now this may be the hardest one. People would make choices that we wouldn't make. People date people that we wouldn't date. They spend money differently. They parent differently. They live differently. They dress differently. They change careers. They stay in situations we would leave. They leave situations that we would stay in. And we say, well, if it was me, but it's not you. That's the whole point. And unless they're asking for your advice or their choices affect you directly, sometimes the most respectful thing you can do is not give your opinion and let another adult live their life the way they want. Even if they live it badly or differently or in a way you don't understand. And let me tell you something. I actually wish we would say this more. I don't know. 3 beautiful words. I don't know. Not saying, well, I haven't really looked into it, but here's my 7-minute opinion. No, don't say that. Say, I don't know. Okay, let's say you can't help yourself. You can say, maybe I need more information. Maybe there's another side. Maybe it's complicated. And I think somehow we've decided that not having an immediate answer makes us look uninformed. You see, I think the opposite. Someone who can say, I don't know enough to speak intelligently about that, usually sounds a lot smarter than someone constantly talking nonsense. Okay, this one matters too. You believed something 10 years ago. You learned more. You lived more. You changed your mind. Good. That's allowed. You don't have to defend an opinion forever just because you said it once. We should be able to say, I used to think that, but now I don't. That's what happens when people grow. The goal shouldn't be to win every argument. The goal should be to become a person that's still capable of learning. And that's what I think this whole conversation is about. Energy. Because every opinion you defend costs something. Every argument you have costs something. Every debate. Every little piece of outrage. Every time you replay the conversation in your head and afterward you're thinking, I shouldn't have said that. I should have said this. Meanwhile, the other person that you had the conversation with is probably eating a sandwich and hasn't thought about you once. So maybe before you jump into saying something, why don't you ask yourself these questions? Does this matter? Does this affect me? Do I know enough about it? Is anyone actually asking me? And do I really want to spend my energy here? Because sometimes the smartest answer is no. So here's my challenge today. You don't have to comment on everything. You don't have to correct everyone. You don't have to solve every disagreement. You don't have to choose sides in every conversation. You don't even have to know what you think immediately. Try these instead. I don't know. I haven't thought enough about that. It's their business. I can see both sides. Or my personal favorite. I have absolutely no opinion about this. Imagine the freedom. Because having peace doesn't mean you lost your voice. Sometimes it means you finally learned when your voice is worth using. And maybe a little less commentary, a little less outrage, and a little more of minding your own business. Now that wouldn't hurt any of us. As always, I thank you for spending time with me, and I will see you in the next episode.